Hello and welcome to French Property Renovations. Today I'm going to talk to you about English cars as against French cars, and obviously driving in France, and some of the legalities of driving in France. Firstly, as I've said before, I'm a plumber from the UK. So in the UK I had a Volvo V70 estate 2005, so getting on in age. A car I would class as a runaround, bought for cheapish money, and basically you run it into the ground until it's dead. Put it into the scrapyard and you spend as little money on it as possible. I also originally owned a 2011 plate Mercedes medium wheelbase van. So coming to France, I upgraded to a 2016 plate Mercedes medium wheelbase high rooftop van. I also put a roof rack on it so that I could get all my scaffolding, cement mixers, all my furniture and everything to France. I was advised to buy a vehicle to bring to France and then change to a French plate, because vehicles, cars, vans, whatever it is, are so expensive in France. Probably 3 times the cost of the UK equivalent. So with a car and a van in the UK, do I want to bring them over to France? Logically speaking, you'd say yes, because they're so much cheaper. Having been here now since February, so I've been here for 6 months and I've driven my UK vehicles on the French side. It's not a big problem if you're coming on holiday or you're in Spain or wherever you want to go. It's great fun. Take your car with you. Yes, it can save you on higher charges, lots of driving. If you like driving, it's good, and it gives you the freedom to go wherever you want, and it saves you hiring a car, obviously. So longer term, if you're going to live here, is it good or bad? My experience so far is it's going to cost you between £1,000 on the conservative side and 3,000 plus euros to change your UK car post-Brexit to French plates. So it's hard to find a French car that's cheap and in reasonable condition that you can have as a UK runaround. So my friend broke her ankle, so she's taken my van back and they're selling my van currently in the UK. And I've been on a bike now for 5 weeks. 38 degrees today. I am so glad I have a new car. And this is the new car, French car, but it's not French, it's actually being imported from Belgium. So this French car I bought from a garage near to Metz. It's an 18-hour journey yesterday, 3 trains, one from here to Poitiers, Poitiers to Paris, Paris to Metz. Fantastic trains, 130 mile an hour while you're sat there having your coffee or whatever, on your phone, iPad, everything's whizzing past you. If they arrive on time, they're well worth the money, a lot cheaper than the UK trains. So from here to Paris is similar in time. From Manchester to London, it cost me £80 in UK money, and then it cost me I think another 25-30 to get to Metz. So it cost me about £110-120 to get there. So much cheaper than getting a train, for example, from Manchester to London. Long day though to get this car, but the garage near Metz is 30 minutes from Germany and it's 30 minutes from Luxembourg. So this car's come from Belgium. A lot of people in this area, which is southwest France, are a long way from the border, from the frontier as the French call it. They're not going to travel like me. I'm a bit crazy, but I got a bargain. This car is probably 1/3 of the price of a car in this area. So to me, that's worth doing. I've got all the paperwork on the vehicle, except for the paid import tax, which apparently, according to the dealer, will take up to 2 months for him to get it, and he's going to email me with those documents. And then I can take all the documents I have and get a permanent registration plate. So the registration plate on it at the moment, I have 4 months with that plate, and to get all the documents in place. It's fully insured at the moment with the French, and I'll do a bit more to add on to this video and show you some of the paperwork I've actually got on it so far. So for me, I actually think it's safer to be a French car, steering wheel on the French side. That puts you in the middle of the road. At a lot of junctions in the countryside, the strange and wonderful weird angles. If you're in my van and you're on this side and you've got your passenger, you can't see what's coming down that way on some junctions. You need two people, or else you're trying to angle your vehicle so you can see. A car's not as bad as a van. Let me point that one out. So I decided to go for this because this has cost me €6,000. It's half leather interior, it's four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive's great on my field. If I do any work cutting trees down, I can potentially buy a tow bar for it, get myself a trailer and keep all the bugs in the trailer and no bugs in my car. Because it's a RAV4, it can double up as a van. My Volvo V70 used to double up as a van. You can put tools in the back of it because it's an estate car, and you could put 3 meters of copper, wood, whatever, straight down and on the dashboard. Versatile cars. So this one will get me on my field and get me off my field, hopefully even in the winter. And it's got aircon. My van didn't have aircon, my car did, but 38 degrees, I've decided you definitely need aircon. So, like I say, hopefully the rest of the paperwork turns up and I'll do another little video in the future to say what it's worked out costing me. But so far, 60% under the budget of the equivalent car in this area. And to me, so far, it's been worth the journey. So I'm going to clean it now because basically I bought this car with no warranties, no nothing, just as is. So it never got cleaned, it just came basically, I think, from the auctions in Belgium or Luxembourg, and then straight to the dealer where he would normally prep it to sell it. But I just said to him I want it as is because I'm too far from his garage to have any warranties and take it back to him. So potentially I might look at getting, I think it's €175 for parts like engines, I think gearboxes, things like that, where I can pay that insurance and have 12 months cover on it. So that's a possibility. But now I'm going to wash it. I'm going to use my well water because here I'm on a meter now, but I do have a well and the well's free. So I'm going to use the well water to throw some water on it first to cool it down, take the dust off it, then I'm going to wash it, give it a nice clean up. Because it feels like a new car then, doesn't it? Because it's clean and tidy. It was clean and tidy on the inside, to be fair. And the garage, I will, in my later video, when I've got all the paperwork, if I'm super happy, I'm going to recommend them. But I'm going to hold my breath for now, and we'll see how we get on. Hopefully, it's a good car. So here's my well, and that's my temporary covering, but I've took it off for now. And we're in August, middle of August, it's 38 today, so things are drying up here. And if you can see the water level, I'm quite pleased with that because I thought it might be actually lower. Because to save my water washing the said car, I'm going to use my bucket and my string to get the free water to cool the car down and then wash it, clean it, and I have a nice clean car then that's French, and I can drive on the right side of the French side of the road and have the steering wheel on the right side for France. So hopefully it's more safe, or safer maybe. That's the plan anyway. So it's 38 degrees and the bucket was in the background prepared and ready for use to wash the car. 38 degrees in the shade, so it is very hot. It's evening time, so we've got a bit of shade as well to keep me cool while I'm doing it and to keep Trev the dog as cool as possible. And after cleaning the car I gave him a good soaking as well. So you're going to have to excuse the camera angle here because I'm trying to show you all the paperwork here that I've got with the car, and I'm going to go through it all with you as well. I've subdivided it into insurance, car documents and as well, and hopefully it'll give you a good overview of what paperwork we got on this car. So first off, I'm going to start with these two here, and basically as you can see here, this has got a big B on it. It's I think it's German, but I'm not sure what language you speak in Belgium. But anyway, this is I think the first equivalent of RAV4, and this is saying who the owner was from 2008 through to 2014 there. Nice little document with some lithographs on it. And then this one is from 2014 to present, and this has a little bit more information on the back, I think, from when it was transferred over in 2014. And again, it's got the Belgium print on there and also the Euro stuff on it. So let's take that from there, because this document that I also received here is the Toyota document, and this one says that it's got the European requirements on it basically, and apparently according to the car dealer I must keep that basically says the car conforms. So it's a certificate, I think, of conformity. And I'm going to say this now, don't be put off by foreign languages. A lot of people relocate to different parts of the world. Some people relocate to the UK. UK residents relocate to places all the far four corners of the world, and we don't tend to learn. But in a day now, we have all the technology, Google Translate, you name it, and some of it's common sense. You can work it out. It's not, trust me, it's nothing to get worked up about if you just take your time. So we've got the ownership document similar to the UK V5. I've got the conformity. Here I've got some bills of sale from the garage. They've included this one, which I was a little bit surprised with. That's from where they originally bought the car, 4 old cars, and sold to them, RM Motors, and they've blanked out what they paid for it, obviously. They don't want us to know what they made. And this is my bill of sale to say I've paid for the vehicle. These forms are the 2 forms that I'm waiting now from the French government, but they need to be stamped and signed up. This one's stamped by them, I'm just waiting for it to be confirmed, and that would say that they've paid the taxes, the import taxes on the vehicle, and I've got to wait 1 to 2 months for them to come through, which I'll probably get emailed to me at some point. So recap: tax awaiting, bills of sale, Euro conformity, equivalent V5s, and we've got both the previous owners. This one is to say it's the CT, these two, and this says that it's like the equivalent of the MOT. So this says the car's legally on the road and mechanically safe. And in France, this little bit here, this little corner gets cut out and is stuck on the windscreen, and it reminds me of the old car tax in the UK where you used to have to stick it on the passenger side window. And again, in France, this goes on the passenger side window. So to insure the car before I picked it up, I needed this form from them, and it says, try me French now, Certificat Provisoire d'Immaculation, and then WW, I don't know what that means. But basically here, I've got a date of the 18th of the 8th through to the 17th of December, and that's when I have to have it fully registered in France. So I obviously need these tax forms to complete this process, and this allowed me to insure the vehicle with Group Armour. It's like an insurance company over here, but you can do it through your local bank as well. They offer insurance, so there's quite a few insurance outlets out there. This is the insurance document, and again you'll see the corner missing, and that is now stuck onto the windscreen and obviously makes up the insurance. So basically the police and the gendarmes, as you're driving along, they should be able to see the CT sticker and the insurance sticker on your windscreen to know that you're legally on the road. They do not seem to have here in France, not on the rural roads anyway, registration plate recognition like we do in England, whereby if you're travelling down the motorways, they can tell straight away if you've got MOT insurance, you name it. And in the UK, our police cars are all manned up with cameras again. So I think personally, the police in the UK now are more set up for the collection of taxes by stealth means. Just my opinion, but there you go. Whereas the police here seem to be more policing. But again, that will come to be in due course. And that's the document so far. How much was the insurance, I bet you're asking? Well, it's cost me €58 a month. So roughly €600 for the year. So probably £500, which I think is comparative with myself being in the UK. And that's the documents. This is my connecting train in Paris, being a 3-hour delay. And I wait. Nowhere to see. Streets of Paris. Everywhere. And there's my train. 2-storey trains. I'm glad I'm sat upstairs anyway. Better view. Size of this train. French countryside is past, and I'm on the high-speed train going from Paris to Metz. That's a top speed of around 80 miles an hour. Probably averages about 30, 40. Countryside's really beautiful. Some blue skies there. "180 miles an hour." This looks a nice place, Metz. Reminds me of Rochdale a bit though.